Hi, everybody. So when I recorded this journal, I recorded my desktop and not my camera, and so I don't have my lovely face for you to see. So this is going to be an audio-only journal entry. But for those who'd like to watch something in place, I will overlay a Let's Play video of the Let's Play that I did for Zelda a long, long time ago. Link to the past Zelda, by the way. But yeah, that's it. Onto the journal. Bye-bye. Hi, everybody. Today is Monday, June 26th, 2023. My name is Michael Zornick, and today we're going to do a little bit more journaling. So it's been a while since I've done one of these, and I'm just trying to document and share and publish a little bit more. And so I figured this is a good first step to do that. So I'm coming back. Last week I was on vacation down North Wildwood, New Jersey with my sister, and it was a lot of fun. Had a little bit more rain in the first couple of days of the week than we would want. But by the end, we did sneak in some good beach time, and it was good. I had a good time. I'm pretty laid back, so just relax on the beach, reading a book. I'm pretty happy. I will share that like going into the vacation was a little awkward because, frankly, I've been underemployed for a little while, and so it wasn't one of these cases like historically where it's like I needed a vacation. It was like planned, months and months and months ago. And so, coming into the vacation, like I'm pretty relaxed. I'm not overworked or overstressed. In fact, if anything, I feel a little guilty that I'm going on vacation when like I have work I'm supposed to be doing and I was already, slacking ahead of that. So, I don't know. That was my mindset going into it, but still, it was fun, and I had a good time. And it's Monday, and I'm back. And so now it's time to start to think about the week ahead. So I wanted to share. I am in negotiation to start a little bit more contract work, which is good. I think we're targeting about 10 hours a week to get started, and that might grow if things line up, and we'll see. But that feels pretty good. I kind of went back and forth on the contract a little bit, and if things go well, I'll probably start getting access to some of the source code and stuff this week to work on. So that's cool. And that'll be like Elixir work, and yeah, I'll have more to share about that later, as much as I can share anyway. But I'm looking forward to that. And then in my personal work, right before vacation, I started to reboot or start from scratch the 30 by 500 course that I had purchased and worked through about 2 to 3 years ago. So for those of you who might not be aware, 30 by 500 is a course by Alex Hillman and Amy Hoy. It is a course that helps you kind of define an audience that you want to serve, and it teaches you a lot of skills to kind of research and get to know that audience based on like artifacts in the field, like forum posts and things of that nature, to kind of understand like what they, what they're talking about, how they talk about it, what their pains are, what their current solutions are, and you can kind of like they call it Sales Safari, and so like I'm not here to teach Sales Safari, but that's basically what the course is. And then they kind of like graduate you through, understanding your audience, building content to serve that audience, and then eventually building content that you can sell to that audience, be it ebooks or courses or software. Although they really push against software as a first time, if you're like a first time developer or product designer or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I bought that, worked through that course a couple of years ago. Originally, I myself was kind of like, my first audience that I had kind of targeted was like Elixir developers, and I was going to kind of lean towards building like educational material for Elixir developers. I started down that road with a website, a couple blogs, and a couple like sample projects and video course, video things. It didn't land for me. And for reasons that like I continually struggled with the understanding of the scope of the audience, that like Elixir development is still like a very niche topic, and there's only so many people out there who are actively like trying to learn Elixir from scratch. And if you want to build advanced course materials, then there's even like a smaller pool of potential students there. And I had trouble justifying it for the financial like goals that I kind of was setting, and the community itself has a lot of good contributors, honestly, for educational materials that are doing really good work. And it would be one thing if like they were doing work and I thought it could be improved upon, but like I look at it and I'm like, wow, this is really good, so I might as well just like recommend you take these courses and learn your stuff and kind of reinvent the wheel. And so I kind of fell off, but I'm going back into it, and because I am constantly looking for some product to work on. The project I worked on over the last year was like a personal project that was more of like educational goals, but once again it is time to kind of come back to thinking about building a product that can bring in some revenue, maybe not necessarily like full-time revenue, but like something to help kind of like cushion the blow of like consulting waves, which I've definitely experienced over the last year. So that's my history with that. A couple weeks before vacation, I started to work through the course again, kind of refreshing my memory, watching a couple of videos, reading some of the articles, and kind of brainstorming an audience that I wanted to serve. And so the current audience that I am going to be targeting is technical course authors. And the idea there is that there's a lot of people who are, technical, who are working in different fields of technology, programming, and, UI design and all kinds of things. And they're interested in, maybe, working through and building a course or something. And they've never taught before. And, and they'll go through it and they'll use different platforms to build things. And those platforms will kind of handhold them to a certain extent, but there's still a lot to learn there. And so I'm hoping that I can bring my experience as a historic, adjunct college professor, course author and teacher myself when I worked through Big Nerd Ranch, and the various mentoring gigs that I've done over the last couple of years to help produce some content that kind of helps them make their courses that much better, that much more successful for their students. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, you kind of just have to experiment a little bit, but this is like for my audience checklist of the things that like I was looking for. This was an audience that checked a lot of those boxes, in that it's a community that I think is overall doing really good into the community, into the world. And it's people I enjoy being around and talking with, and I could go to a conference and have a lot of fun just asking them questions about how they built their course and how their students are working and how you track success and things of that nature. And there's money in the system too. Like it's not, like when I built time tracking invoice software, it was an easy sell because it was a tool that helped them make money. Like the connection was right there. And so, if I could solve that pain, they would pay for it. And so in the same vein, like if I can build some tools, and that could be, something as simple as collection of templates, worksheets, add-ons to tools like Notion or Teachable, and then maybe, long-term, like more advanced courseware, although that's kind of a bit of a pipe dream, but we'll see. I can envision, that path. And so that's why I like the audience choice. Now, just because I have that aspiration doesn't mean it'll actually work out. And so, short-term goals here is to continue working through 30 by 500, refresh my memory of the course. Because when I worked through the course, I only kind of consumed the first half of the course. So the second half will actually be brand new to me. Which the second half is actually more about the product. The first part is more about the audience. But work through that and just start to get my myself out there in that community and to see what I can do. So some hard goals for that for this specific week. Continue doing some Safari and research. I spent a lot of time last week kind of browsing, like just doing wide scale, searches for like watering holes for people to talk about this stuff. Found, some like in instructional design areas, and I wouldn't necessarily expect a first time person to be there, but there's definitely not a lot of people who are new to instructional design who definitely are attracted to those watering holes. And so go there, observe what they're talking about. If I can identify a thread that I feel like I can add to, then, I will add to it. I will extract some bullet points. I will write a blog and we'll, take it from there. So do the research, launch the blog, which I started to do last week. The basic infrastructure is there, but I need to kind of go through it, a little checklist to make sure, all the tech is working appropriately. For that, I'm going to be using Hugo, which I really like for static sites. And I'm auto-publishing to Render, which has a couple nice features for static site hosting. And then I've got to get like campaign, email campaign stuff set up. And to get that first blog post up, and preferably, hopefully, write one or two more, like maybe as a draft by the end of the week. I think that would be a good goal. And so that's the goal for that. I feel like in the first 2 months, it's just going to be a lot of research and a lot of blog posts. And then after that, maybe I'll start to actually build some actual artifacts that might be of interest to people. At least start building them. So that's that. Other things on my list here that I'm looking at. I am working through the MVP Elixir video course that I bought a couple weeks ago. Probably about a couple months ago at this point. I'd like to get through about 80% of that content by the end of this week. A lot of them are just videos, some of them are actionable. A lot of them, I find myself watching the videos and just taking a lot of notes for like, oh, I should do this, I should do that, in relation to, different projects that I'm involved with. So I should be able to work through that pretty quickly. I did also finish working through the Svelte documentation. So Svelte is a front-end JavaScript UI library, like a component system. And I worked through this tutorial. My main goal over there was basically I just wanted to understand what it was in comparison to like Next.js and React and a couple others. Like I'm not really in the JavaScript ecosystem, and so I want to get more familiar with it because like as an outsider, I find that there is a lot of like UI tools that you can utilize to help stand up applications quickly in the JavaScript community, and I find them lacking in the Elixir community. And so as I think about future projects, I may try to lean on Elixir for the back end, for like the actual API layer and business domain and so forth. But I'm highly considering using something like Svelte for the front end. I don't know. I mean, that depends on what you're building, and there's definitely advantages to both. But I'm interested in getting access to more front end UI tools that I find lacking in LiveView, unfortunately. And so Svelte is kind of one way to do that. So before vacation, I did finish working through the Svelte tutorial, which was really cool. It was like a interactive website where you had like documentation on the left side and an editor on the right, and you could kind of edit the Svelte code as you were working, which was really cool, really nice way to learn. I finished doing that before vacation, and so I have my bullet list here for this week is just more tinkering with Svelte, whatever that may be. Yeah, and that's probably like the lowest priority thing. I'd much rather get the other two done than that, but that's on the list. And other than that, my biggest note here is like I just need to put in the hours. I found that over the last couple months, I have let myself be very lax about like hours on the bench, like at the computer, letting myself get taken away with like baseball and video game baseball and a couple other things. I really just need to put the hours in, and that doesn't necessarily mean I have to give up baseball, but like I would like to see myself put more time at the computer at night, maybe with baseball on the radio, and me working and not giving it my full attention. So that's the goal. And yeah, and this video is part of that goal too. I want to publish more, I want to share more, and this is part of that. So yeah, I mean, if you made it this far, super thank you for your time and your interest. If you have any questions or feedback, let me know. Other than that, have a great week, and I will try to check in with you next week. We'll try to do these maybe like once a week or so. Yeah, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.